It's Tom Dyer for Pure West Radio, and I'm at the port of Milford Haven, where I'm joined now by Lord Davies of Gower, Maritime Minister for the Department, in the Department of Transport. Hello to you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're here for a very special reason, a launch of a new fund available for the decarbonisation of the maritime industry here in the UK.
That's right. It's the launch of a £1.5 million fund with the International Green Corridor Fund. And the idea is that we have ports such as Milford Haven, together with other ports, in this case, perhaps Ireland, looking at how they can invest in infrastructure to meet the demands of the green corridors, in terms of perhaps looking at the fuels and how they supply these fuels, that sort of thing.
Because the United Kingdom has got a proud history of being forefront runners of maritime law, maritime vessels, going back hundreds of years. It only makes sense that the United Kingdom follows on that trend and looks at this greener future on the water.
Absolutely agree, and we're very keen to do that, and we've invested quite a lot of money so far in it and intend investing more. It's a question of trying to bring everybody together, and that is the ports, as I said to you before, and the actual shipping lines themselves, to try and decide which fuels they want, how they're going to supply these fuels, and that's the whole point of this 1.5 million that we're putting on offer for the competition today.
And of course, this is very early stages. We're looking at a feasibility study. So it's not just a case of green light, let's go for it. You want this to be something that's sustainable and something that the different ports can work together on to make sure that it has a long-lasting impact.
I think you've answered the question for me there, actually, yes. It's step by step, and we want to take it, as I say, step by step, so that we can plan properly and ensure that what we put into place is very sustainable.
And of course, we're here in Milford Haven. It's one of the busiest ports around the United Kingdom. And changing this isn't going to happen overnight. What kind of changes do you foresee seeing over the next years as these feasibility studies come to pass?
Well, as I say, it is step by step. You're right, Milford Haven is the third busiest port in the UK in terms of its tonnage. And what I'd like to see coming out of this is ports deciding how they're going to facilitate refuelling with new fuels. We're talking about a selection here. It could be battery-powered ships. It could be ammonia-powered ships, hydrogen-powered ships. So it's about having the right infrastructure at the ports to meet the demands of the particular ships going wherever they do in the world.
And one thing that's important to stress here is that, yes, it sounds like it's a one-time change, but actually there's sustainable change to jobs and to growth of those different port areas affected as well.
Very much so. That's absolutely right. And, here within the Haven, we employ something in the region of about 8,000 people. So it's making sure that those jobs are secure and that we can bring more jobs as well to the Haven.
And of course, thinking off the top of my head now, the free port status for Port of Milford Haven and Port Talbot, there's a lot of change going on in the maritime industry at the moment. And it's great that these green futures are being considered properly with a large investment to go along with it.
Absolutely right. I mean, it's a really exciting time, actually, maritime-wise, particularly in this part of the world. Wales has quite a number of ports, as you know, and what with the free ports as well, I think this is an exciting time, and we should grasp the opportunity.
If I was to put you slightly on the spot, time frame that we're looking at, when do you think? I know that there's the net zero target. I suppose you want everything to be close to finalised by then.
I wish I could put a time scale on it, actually. I'd love to answer that question. But certainly it's not going to happen today or tomorrow. It's about putting things into place at the moment so that we can look forward probably to the next couple of decades.
And where can people find out more information, whether they are involved in the different port structures that we have here around Wales and around Pembrokeshire, or if there's someone that wants to know more about this in general, where can they head to?
Well, ports in general in Wales belong to the Welsh Government, if I can put it that way. This is a particularly special port here because of the energy issues. So this comes under the Department for Transport. So any inquiries that you have regarding this port should come to London, to the Department for Transport. But anything to do with any of the other ports in Wales should go to the Welsh Government.
Lord Davies, thank you so much for your time here explaining about this new feasibility study and fund for the decarbonisation and the greener shipping routes in the maritime law.
My pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.